from Beastmaster would have been nice, but in terms of like timing, you want to group up, you want to push towers with Nature's Prophet, Ench, and Beastmaster. Necrophos just fits the bill, and I honestly feel like this is kind of a gotcha last pick from Liquid that puts me at a... I favor them quite heavily in this game because of that last hero choice.
Matu's going to get caught off guard here by the battery assault. Looks like he will live through it, but takes a little bit of damage as a result.
Oh, this is actually an interesting detail in this patch. Clockwork's battery assault now deals double damage to Trance. This used to be a totally awful match for Clock. It's still bad, but it's less bad.
Double damage to creeps, not just Treant.
Yes.
To be very clear. That would be a really weird change, right?
Thank you for being technically correct. Yes.
Appreciate that.
Yes, we love.
But yeah, talk to me about just this specifically this mid match, Necro versus Timbersaw. This is one that, obviously, we've talked about, you know, how Necro's good against strength heroes because of the pure damage, but
yeah,
is it that clear cut?
I think in the lane you're fine as Timber. You have options. I think, first of all, when you get level 3, if you do put 2 points in reactive armor, if you just make sure to tank the wave, I don't think Necro ever harasses you out, so both heroes just farm. And if for some reason you get in trouble with Timber, you could probably still look into cutting waves, right? Necrophos is awful move speed. You could probably pull the wave and do some shenanigans, but I don't think that's going to be necessary for Nisha here. Probably just going to see both heroes farm, and that's where you're happiest Liquid, right? You're fine trading farm in this matchup because you feel like you have the counter pick, not just for the matchup itself, but for the entire game. So if Necro has a good game, you're off to the races.
All right, and then in these other lanes, we already saw the top lane a bit. We're going to focus on the bottom right now. Is see the Enchantress and Clockwork in tow. But the cores, we have Nature's Prophet, played by Matu, Ice on the Viper. That's an amalgamation of items on Viper, cosmetics that is. That's the new, like, it looks like the Elder Dragon form, but it's like a skeletal Viper thing with the Dota Cinema turtle head.
It's actually the decrepit dragon form. It's beyond Elder.
Yes.
It is very old. The corpse dragon form.
It's just a walking corpse. Yeah, that looks right. But yeah, this lane, I mean, Viper versus Nature's Prophet in general has got to be quite annoying. The supports are kind of just playing their own 1v1 battle right now.
Yeah, you feel pretty good about this as Ench because Nature's Prophet can 1v1 against almost every hero in the game just fine. Viper is no exception. You should be able to CS. And if Viper does try to harass you out of lane, it's going to cost him a lot of mana. You TP back to base, you TP back to lane, you have the resource advantage. So I think for Ice, the goal in this lane is just going to be farm as much as you can with Nether Toxin. He is getting 2 points in poison attack for the potential kill later with Clockwork, which I do think is a good idea. But this is what you're going to be seeing the majority of the gameplay being like in this lane for now. And Matu will just try to equalize the farm as much as possible. But Ice has been doing a very good job so far in this lane, I think. This is not the early CS scoreline I would have imagined. I thought Nature's Prophet would pull slightly ahead in the beginning, especially without any points in the passive on Viper and the corrosive skin, so...
He is completely out of mana though on Ice. Only a couple more poison attacks.
Yeah, that's what
pretty
happens.
Much deplete him.
Oh, missed the sprout.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
There's still a Quelling Blade, so I don't really think Matsu is going to accomplish much with that. Regardless. Yeah, top lane's a lane we haven't talked about. Crystal's playing the position 1 Bristleback this game. He's going to be against the core Beastmaster from Zai. And it's kind of a late... we're going to see first blood. Matu ends up taking out Zayat, so... I mean, we figured that one of these supports would probably end up dying in this lane since they were quite low. Oh, actually, Nisha is dangerously low here. He does not have a point in chain.
Mickey's continuing the pressure. Death Pulse not quite in range. He's going to go for it. No. Just a little bit out of range, but still forcing Nisha out. And we look at the CS. It's a 6 CS advantage right now, so... Mickey off to a pretty good start. Nisha.
I think this is what happens in this lane, right? I was talking about the level 3 timing where Timbersaw is fine, but as soon as Necro starts reaching this point of critical mass, at some point your armor just doesn't keep up anymore. Yeah,
he might just be dead here. One more right click will do it. And the tree dance is there from Boxy. Nice rotation to ensure the kill on the mid laner. So Nisha first to fall between the two position twos.
Não foi ladrão não. Tá certo.
And that's also really good timing for the water runes here.
True.
should be able to get up to more or less full. Necrophos is one of the heroes that needs the water rune the least, but it's still very nice when you don't get the kill there, so you don't get the regen out of your Heartstopper aura. At the very least, you can go grab that water rune for a little bit of extra value. And okay, so now is when it gets even scarier for Nisha, right? You just got level 5 the Necro 6. Yeah. If you ever float like 2/3 HP and Monkey King comes in, you can just kill in a stun. Indeed. You do have the raindrop, but again, another issue against this Necrophos is the harassment is consistent, so the raindrop will be worn down. Nick is just going to spam this whenever the raindrop is ready. You can see Nisha already down to 3 charges out of 6. So it's kind of a damn it if you do, damn it if you don't situation where I feel like Nisha has to buy this, but it still feels bad because you're going to get less value than you want, but if you don't have it, you could die.
And Matu getting pressured in the bot lane. There's the battery assault into the cogs. Oh, actually pops out of them because of the sprout. Either way, leads to a kill onto Matu, so Secret's going to be happy with that, but it looks like Ice will be the trade as the rotation comes through from Insania.
That TP from Boxy was actually a bit unnecessary there. I understand that he feels like he has to come in, but as a matter of fact, I think Insania had a full body block there on the Viper in the tower, so he would have killed him alone. And while it's not the biggest of deals, it is a little bit of efficiency loss, right? Because Boxy's using his TP, he's using a lot of mana to get down here. And this is opening up the top lane now for Secret to bully Zai. And it also gives a little bit of safety to Nisha to get that level 6, but now he is going to get jumped on in mid. I don't think they have what it takes just yet. Still has 1 raindrop charge left.
Yeah, and now that he's level 6, can spam out these lanes a little bit easier. And of course, has had the 3 levels in reactive armor for quite a while, but against a Necro, I mean, it does help when he's consistently right-clicking. Is Matu getting pressured again deep within the tier 1 tower? There's the Sprout, but he's inside the Nether Toxin, so down he goes. You can see Mickey making his transition over as Ice just continue to right-click, but there's the first Reaper Scythe of the game. The kill actually goes to Insania, so no stacks for Mickey. And Zayats. Alright, that was a nice, what do they actually call that? He's going to drop, look up that skill name here, Cinder. Is it actually, it's not just Tornado, is it? Hurricane. That's right.
What's even bigger than a tornado?
A hurricane.
I don't know. It's not really the same thing. Let's not get
tornado is more condensed hurricane, right? It's more powerful, but much smaller.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah. Sure, we're not getting corrected on that at all. Technically,
nobody goes outside. You think anybody watching this?
That's a very good point, actually. We're safe. Effie thinks you can tie in other sports than football.
I missed that one. We'll have that discussion after this game. Is Nisha trying to steal some creeps and does so relatively successfully. But you can see Mickey still top of the net worth. How important is it? I mean, I know this was nerfed, the ulti giving the regen and whatnot when you get the actual kill. Does that make it more important to get these early stacks, or is this more of just like a, what's the best way to put it? Like, kind of like a luxury portion of the spell, like a segment? It's not like that important. It's not like a culling blaze, like, oh my goodness.
I feel like it was always a luxury, to be honest, since it was introduced, because I don't think people picked Necro specifically for the scalability of the ult. They picked Necro when it was a good Necro game, and then it was just, you know,
that's part of it.
Yeah, it's just even better. But you're not gonna... Like, most of the... You don't really have, like, these heavy regen strats on Necro, I think, where you're really taking advantage of it, because what makes Necrophos good is the aura and the ults, not the regen itself, right? So...
Zayats. He's in a bit of trouble here, gets blocked inside his own cogs, thanks to the tree ants there, and Matu gets credit for that one. Looks like he's going for first item Desolator on the Nature's Prophet.
More pushing power, right? Liquid wants to play fast this game. They don't want to give Secret time to build up. You're also seeing that from the Necrophos build. He's going Urn into Vessel. He will get a Travels on the way, but I imagine the Vessel instantly queued up now. Just getting the Travels for immediate value to play aggro on the map. He can TP now and connect on Ench Creeps. He can TP and connect on Beastmaster. He can TP and connect on Treants. Like, Necrophos is technically global hero right now. Way more than you usually are with Boots of Travel, just because of the amazing cast he has around him for this item. And Vessel is just a must-buy this game. You're playing against all these tanky heroes on IO. It's super obvious that you need one of these for your team. And Necro is the one to buy this game. So far so good for Liquid. I feel like everything is going according to plan. You're going to be ramping up the pace a lot soon. You want Beastmaster to find a tower. You want Necrophos to get involved with those travels. And Secret have to really be on the ball here, because things can get out of hand very quickly if they're not.
Yep, and Sandy is found out in the Secret Triangle and will be taken out swiftly. I mean, it's always feels good to be able to justify getting Boots of Travel on Necro because you always want it because he's so freaking slow.
I had this conversation with SVG back at a previous DPC, and he was talking about travels as Midas for heroes that don't want to buy Midas. And I thought it was a pretty interesting way of thinking about the item. Obviously, it's not the only reason you get it is for greed, but effectively, you're buying this item, you never need to buy TP again in the game, so that's effective gold, right? You're a core, you're not going to die enough to benefit from free TPs most of the time. You're going to traverse everything you do in the game just faster. You get a little bit faster to creep waves, you get a little bit more farm out of the map. So if you don't need immediate payoff right now, this item is going to work as a Midas long-term for the Necrophos in the game, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting way of thinking about it that I never really thought of it like that. I always thought of travels more as a greedy item rather than also just the added pressure that it puts on the map as well. And
is under attack.
No, Balance Strike only connects onto Puppey, but Mickey gets off the Reaper Scythe, and with that last right click, it was enough damage. Give him his first little regen stack of the game. I mean, on top of that, though, like, how do you feel about... I mean, obviously, Booster Travel is going to work with the push as well, like you said, but the greedy portion of it is the downside of it, right, overall?
Yeah, so the alternative here is, let's say you rush the vessel, right? If you do the math on it, you just think about it in a very simple way. If you buy the vessel, you need to find kills at some sort of frequency to make up for the farm you didn't get from not having travels, right? So if you can make the fights happen regardless, then the travels are essentially just giving you free value while you're still winning, and that's what you want in a Necro game. If the pick is good, I think travels will almost always be the best item at this time, just because the power of your hero is enough for now. Anyway, you don't need items to fulfill your role right now, so you get that as the build-up piece and to just connect and be more efficient. And then when things start getting harder, well, the travels will pay for themselves later on, and you will get those tanky items you need.
Yeah, we're gonna see the roar bottom by Zai. Looks like it's gonna lead to a very easy kill onto Ice Ice Ice. Zayat's completely surrounded right now, and will drop as a result. Ice 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 did end up getting boxy though in the meantime.
Okay, I thought that was going to be greedy from Crystallis to go for that tower there, but they did not have enough to kill him before the relocate came out. Obviously, no Reaper Scythe, that was used mid, and yeah, that was actually very safe. So scratch that. They do get the tower there for Secret, but again, it comes at a cost, and Liquid are still progressing on the map. They have taken the mid-tier 1, which is very big in this game. You get the mid-tier 1 against Timber. That's usually not how it goes, right?
Yeah.
It's usually Timber that is bullying you non-stop and pressuring your tower, but this matchup, it's just not possible. And as a result, Liquid will now... This is when I think they're actually going to either consider a very early Roche with their Deso, or they're going to look to get the top tier 2 and get the outpost before minute 15. Like, just really start playing very quick. I don't think Secret really hold a candle to them right now if they group up and cast their spells effectively. They just want to not lose too much progress on the map in the meantime, but that's where Nature's Prophet is a godlike hero, right? You already have Nature's Prophet and travels on Necro. You can, the way you can move your pieces around the map right now, it's super dynamic. So I would love to see Boxy, Insania, plus probably Zai start grouping up, and the other two heroes can connect and still push out waves in the meantime. That way you can be...
What is Secret's plan of attack then, in this case? Are they waiting for something specific? Is it going to hold that thought? Viper Strike in the mid lane. And that's going to lead to a very easy kill onto Mickey. A huge kill for Secret. Good rotation from them.
That is a very big kill. Mickey with an uncharacteristic mistake there. He gets off the Ghost Route, but doesn't pop the 20 charge wand, which could have maybe bought some time. I think he dies anyway in that situation, but yeah, this is what Secret need. They need to pounce on someone with Clockwork plus an IO pairing, find a quick kill before the rotations that Liquid can bring in can turn things around, and this even leading to a tower is very good news for Secret fans out there.
Yep, Atos was just used onto Boxy, who pops the Wukong's command. More zoning capability than anything. As you can see, Zayat's kind of sacrificing his life.
Oh, they Reapered him.
Gets the Reaper, though, from Mickey, so more regen for him. Is that worth the Reaper size?
I don't think so. I actually think having this on cooldown for 2 minutes is good for Secret. Like, Lock was dead regardless.
It's not like the old days. I mean, you're getting that regen stack that we talked about, but it was nerfed, right? You're not getting that extra respawn time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think that was enough value to re-bring there. If you wanted Necro to get a kill gold, by all means, you could have given it to him with just a Death Pulse and a Vessel Charge or whatever. But yeah, 2 minutes now that Secret know they effectively have a power play because there's no Reaper. That gives their Timber a lot of freedom. It gives their Bristle a lot lot of freedom. As a result, they're going to smoke up right away. They're going to look for a hookshot combination with relocate.
Zayats is already up and running.
Sentindo conforto, acreditar que você tá...
Basically instant respawn. He gets off the hookshot, and this is going to lead to a kill onto Zai. So nice little smoke gank there from Secret. As Ice 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 is going to go back into the mid lane and push that out a bit.
Zai gets ganked by Zai Ass.
That's right. Okay, he's also smoked up, but this time in Secret's jungle. See if they can try to set something up. But nobody's really that close other than when, you know, Ice 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 in the mid lane. See how far he ends up going, though. Just going to push out the lane with another Toxin and could get jumped theoretically, but they don't have the best catch right now. He's going to actually use the Atos.
Trying to bait a response here. Ice Ice just playing with them. There was no threat whatsoever. He had no allies nearby that could have combined for a kill. He's just trying to get into Liquid's head a bit, maybe make them over-rotate. Didn't really lead too much though, but I think Secret are weathering the storm pretty well here. This is not how I imagined these last 3 minutes would play out. I thought Liquid are going to expand their lead, but it's Secret finding openings with Zayats on the clockwork, and Liquid have been a little bit quiet for a while, even though I do think they're very, very strong.
Yeah, and we should mention Crystallis, I think the other piece, he's only 150 gold away from finishing his Aghanim Scepter. I would assume that that's kind of... Is that like a big power spike that they want to go with, or you need to wait for the BKB after? Because I agree that they're probably happy with the game state right now.
I feel like Secret are on a timer in this game. I think late game Necro and Nature's Prophet will be a really big problem for their lineup. So I would love to see them play aggressively once they get the Scepter. I think that's a very major timing. BKB is the next item queued up, like you said, though, for Crystallis here. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good time for Secret to make a go. They have hookshot again now, so they can look for a relocate play once more. Just try to keep up the pace and make sure you get value out of your Timbersaw before it's too late. Because I don't... This is the tricky thing about playing Timber in this game. I don't know if you can itemize to overcome your problems truly in the game, right? Like, what do you buy against Necro Beastmaster Nature's Prophet to solve?
He actually bought Yule's, and I'm pretty sure that's for the Ghost Shroud, right? I'm trying to see something that dispels on himself, and it's... Yeah. I can't see anything, actually. Maybe enchant.
I think a big part of the value for him as well is the ability to catch people in side lanes and actually kill them and not let them TP out, right?
Right, okay.
Because Nature's Prophet and Necrophos will be playing side lanes quite a lot with their travels, and if you do find yourself in an opportunity where you can jump them, you can now set up relocate ganks as Timbersaw, and it just adds a lot of utility to your team's lineup.
But yeah, it does also, like I said, serve as a kind of a poor man's nullifier, because they don't really have a nullifier buyer on their team. Like, Bristol can technically get it like super late, but it's not something he wants to prioritize.
Viper could buy it, but it's not ideal. So. I want to give a quick shout out to Matsu's build. I think there's a lot of 1K MMR pub players that are now feeling justified in how they built every carry hero 3 years ago, going Deso Mask of Madness.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Taking
Roach, that for sure.
Very fast, single target damage, nothing else.
They have an idea that this is happening. The hookshot not into the pit, though. So I believe Liquid should be able to get Roach if they really want. They're going to actually start fighting right off the bat. Boxy dives inside his own Wukong's command, so just like that is 5v4. And into the pit would potentially go Nisha. Gets roared. Gets off the Reaper sight just in time. Double kill for Ice Ice Ice. While all this is happening, though, Zai picks up the Aegis. Crystal is getting extremely low. That Spirit Vessel applied to him, trying to run away, and Zai just getting perpetually slowed. Finally dropped with that is just the Aegis. But you can see Secret, they have the numbers right now. Zai still with those stacks of the Wild Axes. Nice Nether Toxin breaking a bit here. Monkey King drops in. Crystallis is super fine thanks to Puppy. You can see Boxy completely controlled, and Secret, despite not getting the Aegis, win this fight pretty handily.
It did save the life of, I believe it was Zai there, by covering for him with the Monkey King, but I actually think he might have saved him regardless with just the stun, or maybe stun into slow jump and then jumping immediately, but he got cancelled on that attempt.
Crowded, but look at the damage applied to Matu. My goodness. Ghost Scepter comes out. Crystallis looks like he's going to find that kill nonetheless, and here comes a hook shot from the side. Crystallis is doing so much damage. Still his back to Mickey. 7 stacks of goo on top of him. Double kill for Crystallis, and Secret are just getting every kill they want as Crystallis continues to just completely rampages his way through this game, seemingly on little HP this whole time as well.
O problema é que ele
It's like 20% HP.
When Reaper is down, he feels pretty safe, right? And this is the downside to build a Nature's Prophet like this one, is how frail you are. 2 or 3 attacks from Bristle, you die. They have to use the... Okay, so this is not part of the replay right now, but I'm still just going to cover what happened in the end there. We do have the Deathseeker Shard on the Necrophos, which is a very good item against Bristleback, both offense and defense. But if you have to throw that on your right-clicking Nature's Prophet after 2 seconds, he's out of the fight. You can't use it on the Bristleback then to cover yourself. You just get killed off really easily toward the end there. Oh, he died.
God, he still dies.
He died in base.
That feels bad. Secret, despite not getting that Aegis. Denied it pretty fast though.
They are ramping it up big time.
4K lead now for Secret, but...
And this is the play I thought Liquid were going to make 5 minutes ago. I wonder what dissuaded them from really pulling the trigger on this top tier 2 push. It ends up with Secret finding the first one. Obviously, it will turn into a trade at this point, but Secret definitely managed to buy enough time for that Axe on Bristle, which changed the trajectory of the following team fight massively. It was the item that they needed to stand and fight against Liquid, and they got the time for it.
Alright, let's have a real discussion, because you glossed over it. Okay. You did mention it. I'm not saying I wasn't listening, but the Mask of Madness unlocked. I need to understand what the hell this is.
I'm not convinced that this was the item he should have bought here. I mean, in terms of like single target damage bang for your buck, this is probably the most damage you can get per gold right now with a Deso, right? You activate this, you get all that attack speed with the hard right clicks you have, but it offers nothing in the way of defense. The lifesteal is irrelevant because your hero just vanishes. So it is very good when you're in these like calm situations where you are in control. You just get to farm or you get to hit a tower freely with Mask, but at any point somebody's on top of you, you're just gone. And there are obviously other options that you could have gone for here, right? Like rushing a Silver Edge against the Bristleback is what a lot of players would have done in this slot. I don't know. I'm not sure what prompted this. If they feel like they just need all that extra right-click damage to quickly get heroes into Reaper range, or if that was his read on the game. But it is definitely not an item I would have ever expected him to get there.
I mean, if they didn't have any catch, it would make sense. But I mean, they're playing with a Bristle IO first and foremost, and then obviously Timber and Clock.
Yeah, he is very susceptible to dying if he gets jumped. He needs to get Force Staffed away by Ench and Deathseeker, which he was last fight, but he still died. Yeah. So they used all their defensives on him, and he still just vanished. So that's got to be concerning.
Chrysalis top the net worth.
BKB on BKB. Secret are very, very strong. This is the item of the game for their team, right? It's the one counter they truly have to Necro that has a strong timing right now. Looks like Nisha might not need to buy it in the current game state. He has a lot of statuses from Kaya Sanj, and he has the Hood and Yule, so hopefully for him he can stay afloat.
Yeah, you can see Mickey is actually building towards, he's actually almost done with it, the BKB for himself, which is, as a Necro, not the item you want to go for, but in certain cases like this, you kind of have to. As they do smoke up, but they're still in their own jungle right now, so Secret's just biding their time with that 4K lead.
I'm not sure it's the best item, is it? Because like the problem you have now is, ideally you would want to use your Deathseeker on Bristle in the fight, right? So he can't hit you. But you can't do that now because he has BKB, and if you BKB, you can't Ghost Shroud either. So you're kind of opening up the Bristle to really just go onto you in the fight now with the dynamic you have. You could have bought some other value items that tank you up, like a Shiva's Guard, which is queuing up now. You could have got Force Staff if you really wanted that repositioning ability against, Force Staff is just a godly item in this game, right? Look at the heroes you're facing. Clock, Bristle, Viper, and the Chakram of Timber. This is a great Force-Staff game, and I think Liquid should have more than one of them. They're currently only running one on Ench. Maybe you'll see one come out for Boxy. Does he have a courier on the way? He is buying one. Okay, so that is his next queued item. I think that is what needs to happen here. Needs to get more of this item. But yeah, I feel like this is a major hit or miss item choice from Mickey here. I think it's hard commitment, and it could either win them a fight or fall completely flat.
What's the reason
uma habilidade bem chata, ainda mais com o fragmento de Agni, onde ao cortar o fragmento você cria uma treante.
And going for a little bit of a greedy beat. Has Hurricane Pike, the travel.
O Timbersaw chega assim, faz.
He doesn't have any charges right now, so
he knew he wasn't going to get in.
O seu serrote.
Yeah, it's a good question. I do think this is a good Vessel game. It's also pretty good against Ench, you know, it adds some value against Monkey King.
Oh, hook shot on the tree, but Boxy's still able to jump away. He's getting whipped.
No, they're all
so much
they
mobility.
relocated into the cogs.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Oh. Didn't get anything out of that secret. They're losing a bit of efficiency on the map. Effectively, they were almost 6k up. Now it's down to 3. So just getting out-farmed, and that's the nature of the lineup you're playing against largely. The Necrophos plus the Nature's Prophet with all these teleports.
How does he... It's so weird that he's able to jump out of that. I don't know why I find that weird. So the cast point for Tree Dance is basically instant. I mean, it's not because doesn't the shard help with that, or is that the old shard?
That's the old one.
Yeah.
The new shard is
battery
mischief.
assault doesn't really do anything then against that. Oh, Chrysalis and company, like you said, did lose a little bit of efficiency on the map, but still have that 4K lead. And really, the question is, who's going to get the next Roche? As we always ask ourselves, Roche number 2. Both teams can take it pretty freaking fast. Yeah, especially with this build on Matsu, right? So.
Who do you have a shard to on either side? I guess you get Beastmaster on the Radiant. Because Nature's Prophet and Necro already have it.
Yeah. Oh, hook shot. Zayat gets it. And Danny's in a lot of trouble. Gets bursted from 100 to 0. Now with the 5v4 advantage. Roche.
Do you think Flamethrower or Hairball is better?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think you need Flamethrower if you have Shard on Viper, so it depends on if he's buying that.
You could also give it to Io, arguably. It's a very, very good shard for Io when you're playing with Bristol. The Spell Amp is
that's true.
Very, very strong on Bristol back.
I think you still do it
Spell Lifesteal, probably.
When in doubt, give it to your top network guy. As the tier 2 tower taking a beating, Roche is now not up. Is now not up. 35 seconds.
When it was also not up.
That's right. Slightly not up.
Não pode vacilar, usar ele tem
from the area now, though. So,
limpa as ondas de criaturas com facilidade ainda coloca.
Wonder how quickly they can really take it. Like, it's only Clock is better at it than he used to be again because battery assault also gives double damage to Roche, but effectively it's only really
relocate coming. Zayat getting Mickey and forcing out that BKB, and the instant Reaper scythe on the Puppy, but Matu taken out by Crystallis. And now the right clicks have come from Mickey. With that BKB activate, cannot Ghost Shroud. Down he goes. Double kill for Ice Ice Ice. Ends up being a 3 for 2, but that's 2 cores. Dead for Liquid.
Monster dies instantly. It's kind of funny. Because he does it's not a lot of damage, but...
Well, he does have Silver Edge now.
Yeah.
He can get away.
If he uses that offensively, he's not really getting out. He vanished. He vanished from the surface of the earth there, and I think Secret, you're very happy with that trade. You lose 2 supports to kill 2 cores in a support. That's a no-brainer. That's a huge win for them. And with Roche up, they can still try to maintain some control of the area. They're not in that position right now, but just maximizing. Now Satanic completed onto Crystallis on the Bristleback.
That's a big, juicy boy right there.
Can't really get too much value out of the Dispel here, I think. I guess the Vessel can dispel Satanic, which will be very good, but he might be BKB'd already. I guess his worst enemy is almost the Sprout, right?
Yeah, that's always the case, right? You need a Force Staff or a Battle Fury, Quelling Blade to get that. Although there is the talent, right? What did he actually take this time around? He hasn't even gotten 20 yet. As Roche is being attempted right now, and they have vision, does Liquid. Boxy jumps in, uses the Aegis. That's a big play, trying to get out the Wukong's command. In fact, he took the Shard as well. That is huge. Crystallis already with the BKB used. They actually just going to try to focus onto Boxy. Gets out the Wukong's command. A 3-man Boundless Strike. He's taken out shortly after. We can see Crystallis getting extremely low, but the big relocate out. Ice 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 is definitely dead here. 2 for 1. They'll likely get the IO, although they might have to reposition.
Did Mickey just save Crystallis completely there?
Now, Matu able to get out this time as Nisha trying to catch up to the rest of Liquid. They do see Zai and the instant Yules. Nicely done from Nisha. That'll lead to another kill. So,
all right, we need a replay on that.
Yeah, that was a really interesting exchange at Roche.
I think Mickey used the Death Seeker on Bristleback to prevent him from lifestealing, but he hadn't. I think he hadn't used his Satanic yet, had he? You're gonna see it here. So Chrysalis is getting really low in that roar that's coming in a while. First, we're gonna need to see Boxy die, spawn jump in a tree. But
That's crazy.
just keep your eyes on Chrysalis here, because this is a really good play from Liquid to take this fight with the Vessel applied. They get this roar. Bristleback is facing side, and now he gets that Death Seeker. There was a full second of stun left that Matsu and Zai could have killed him in, and they don't have Reaper, and then he gets relocated out.
That's true.
I think maybe Mickey was concerned that the relo was coming out, and they needed to get the last burst of damage in, but look how long Puppy still had left on it. That was 100% a kill, and that would have led to a big win in that fight. So Mickey can't be too happy about that. At least for Liquid, they did get the Aegis and Shard like we talked about. But that could have been a full-on comeback with a slightly better execution.
Hook shot onto Boxy. Looks like he is going to drop. Gets off the balance strike, but
nice offensive force staff there from Zayas.
All right, both Aegises have been consumed pretty much instantly. Who ended up getting the shard? Was it the Beast? I don't know if he had one before. Let's check.
I'm pretty sure they gave it to Zaya.
I don't know. Monkey King did consume one.
Yeah, I guess Boxy got it then.
Okay. So Mischief, shorter cooldown, longer invulnerability period, and no longer slows, and disjoints projectiles. How good is that?
Easy support. I don't know. It's just, I feel like if any core still needed shard, he would have given it to them. It's just, it's probably better than the Ench one, so you're just, if he could have sold it for half value, he might have done it, to be honest. But,
just like Saksa the other day.
Well, he just destroyed it.
Marcy, yeah.
That's not the same thing.
I mean, he would have sold it, though, if you could. And that's an interesting... Okay, hook shot. Yeah, they sure did, but nice force stab. Zai inside the cogs, gets force staff, though. Looks like he might be fine, but Crystal spots the BKB. Instant roar, but they can't Reaper Scythe. And there's a connection from Puppy. There's a Wukong's command on top of all this. Mickey with the BKB. He's just getting chased down and beat down by Crystal. Finally, the Ghost Rock comes out, but Crystal, in all likely, will find this kill eventually. Does so successfully, and now Boxy looks to be dead. Zai on top of that's 4 dead with no casualties from Secret, and they can just beat the shit out of this base.
Absolutely run over. This team fight to me was the perfect example of how dangerous that BKB is on Necro, right? He pops the BKB, Crystal pops his, and he just ran him over. Crystal has almost killed him hundreds of fold during the BKB. He ends up getting Ghost Shroud off with like 5% health and heals a little bit, but not nearly enough to sustain himself in the fight following. And Secret, they're getting at least 2 lanes here. They might just go for GG. There's no buybacks being used.
There is one buyback on Matu Avail, but we've seen how squishy he is. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. There's the Glut here being shown by Ice just trying to zone the really annoying Enchantress as he now has the shard on Viper, so the push can be even faster. Matu does buy back, and Secret, they should realize now that nobody else has buyback, so they can just focus on the Ancient. Shiva's popped by Nisha, just creating a little bit of space, and this is going to be a 1-0 start for Secret, and a very, very interesting game, I have to say.